Hi everyone, welcome to UTV Guna and our show, The Shooting Lone Star with Ram from the Austin Gooners. Yes, bro, how are you?
What's up, Amit? Hey, man. 2 more days until we start, man. Tomorrow is All or Nothing from Amazon, so I'm excited about that. I've been seeing some clips, and I'll be ready. I have my Amazon subscription turned off, so I'm actually gonna have to hop back on so I can watch some of the episode or watch the episodes. And I'll probably keep it like Amazon Prime Video. I'll be excited when I'm watching multiple times, and then of course Crystal Palace on Friday. I haven't gotten the okay to be off in the afternoon for work, but I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to be at the pub with all the Austin Gooners and not have to be obligated to answer any work calls. So we'll see, man. But other than that, I mean, I'm ready, man. It's gonna be a big couple weeks. Now we're gonna go back into where we have Arsenal here in the States, Arsenal in the morning, and Austin FC at night. So some long weekend days coming up, but it's what you live for, right? So ready to go. How about you?
Yeah, bro, really excited now. 2 more days. Really looking
Hmm.
forward to Friday. It's going to be an intense game. We know Palace are a good team. We know we're looking really good. We look ready, and
Hmm.
our preseason has gone perfectly. Let's talk about the Seville game to start with. So, comfortable, easy. I was there at the stadium, just it's so easy. Just sitting there like, wow, we're
Yeah.
scoring goals for fun. We look so fluid in attack. Gabriel Jesus can't stop scoring. Saka looked really good. Martinelli, the whole team, and that fluid play that we've seemed to have now, where the link ups, the combinations, everything seems to be genuine. What I know it's only pre-season, and you can't read too much into pre-season, but the way it's looking, I'm really optimistic and excited to see how we go next season. Saliba's looking rock solid. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing season for us. I'm really hopeful that we can do big things this season. So yeah, what
Yeah.
was some Sevilla game?
So I personally I missed it. It was at 6:30 in the morning our time, but there was no way to watch the game for some of us. I do know some of the guys went like the long way. They're like real tech savvy, so they did the whole like VPN to connect them to like make them look like they're from another country, and they were able to go that way into getting the broadcast. I didn't like put any effort into doing that, but and then I slept in. So basically, I woke up to all the text messages in our group chat, caught up with everything, watched the extended version of YouTube clips. Like it showed not just the scoring plays, but some of the more important, impressive plays that happened. So, um, yeah, like as you said, from what I saw, we look good. We're looking ready to go. And I can't remember another preseason where there was this much anticipation for the season to start. I'm trying to think about even like the last year. Um, I think looking into the first game against Brentford with dread because around this time we were like, oh God, Lacazette's out, Aubameyang's out with COVID. We had a couple other injuries. We hadn't really brought on a lot of signings. So we didn't really start the season off that like we were hoping to, right? Real disappointing. Once we went to the international break, brought in our final signings, like we're good. This year we've done everything early. We've brought in, we've addressed like our main issues early, and now we're selling at this point. So a lot of the news that's been coming out over the past week or so has been outgoings. Um, so I think all that combined with just our play on the field, as you say, it's just preseason, but we look fluid. Everybody looks like they enjoy playing with each other. Gabriel Jesus has stepped up or stepped in and has become already a prominent piece of the puzzle. And Zinzenko, I messed his name up. Zinchenko too, man. Another start where he played a good amount of minutes. Surprising to see. One thing I will note too, like I was surprised to see like Like we left pretty much our whole starting team for most of the game. Maybe like some subs happened like in the 50th, 60th minute or whatever. But looks like everybody's rearing to go. We have our starting 11, I believe. So yeah, it's a complete 180 from what it felt like this exact time last year. I know the same. The only thing that's the same is it's a Friday first game of this season, Friday night for you guys, Friday afternoon for us. Going to be a different opponent, but an opponent that like we are. They're one of the teams I hate going against as of late because I can't even recall if we've ever beat Crystal Palace. We have, maybe I missed one in the past few years, but it's always been draws or they've beat our ass or whatever. So it's go time, man, and I'm pretty sure the players are ready. The hype train is really picking up. As I already mentioned, all or nothing's on theirs. Um, so I'm ready to go, man. I will not be very productive if I have to work on Friday afternoon. I'm not going to be very productive because I'm just gonna be watching that match, man. Mhm.
Yeah, it's the first game, so the excitement, it's all that build up. You've had that break, excited with seeing our new players coming in, and yeah, that first game, you always have that buzz and that anticipation. So yeah, really looking forward to Friday. Before we discuss that game in more detail and look at starting lineups and the dangers they pose and give our predictions, let's talk a little bit about the transfer window. So, as you were saying, hearing mainly the main news now is about players leaving and players going out on loan. So, it's been confirmed that Leno is leaving and he's going to Fulham. He's been a great servant for us. He was a very good goalkeeper. You would say his only weakness really was in terms of his ability to play out from the back, his range of passing. But in terms of shot stopping, he was right up there with some of the best goalkeepers in the world, and he made some fantastic saves for us, some great performances. That's double save against Tottenham. Always going to remember that one for a long time. So, big up to Leno. Good luck to him in his future. Hope he does well for Fulham, but not when he plays against us. When he plays against us, let's hope he has a howler.
Yeah, we'll smash him.
Yeah. But yeah, your thoughts on Leno leaving?
Yeah, man. I mean, as everything you said, right? He was never a bad goalkeeper. Great servant to the club. I just don't think he was Arteta's guy in terms of how he wants to play from the back and play with his feet. It's crazy, right? In a game of football where you mostly play with your feet, like that can actually be a detriment to the goal. Like to be fair, the goalkeeper, right? He can use his hands. So, but yeah, it's not like he was bad or he ever had bad games or played himself out of the starting lineup. It was just Aaron Ramsdale's the guy, right? When you have a coaching change, and this is with all sports, right? The coach is going to have his type of player that he has it set that he wants to play with, and um, Leno just didn't fit in for whatever reason, and it is what it is. It's a business, and that's what happens. But we saw how last year he stepped in for a game with Ramsdale out on injury. We got a clean sheet. I think it was against like Leeds or something like that. And the whole team like stormed him, and we're giving him daps and hugs and all that. So great teammate. I don't see, he never griped. He was always a professional, was even there in America with the squad. So, putting in work. So, yeah, man. I mean, happy trails to him. I hope he, at the very least, helps keep Fulham up, just because that means he'll have a successful run and we get a little bit more money from them from sale. But I hope we get 6 points against Fulham, which I anticipate we will. But yeah, I don't want him to have a good game against us. So yeah, it is what it is. Happy trails to him, huh?
Yeah, and we've had some news of players going out on loan.
Hmm.
Confirmed is that Nuno Tavares is going to Marseille.
Hmm.
Seen Saliba go there in recent times, do really well. So hopefully, we're seeing what happened with Nuno Tavares. He'll pick up some good experience, good playing time, and come back an improved player.
Absolutely. Actually, yeah, he's already on there and he's already played. Um, I know he posted a clip on his Instagram of like himself pulling a nice nutmeg on his defender. I think they played against Milan in a friendly. So yeah, hopefully he gets a lot of starts. I think Marseille's playing in Champions League. I could be wrong, or at least trying to qualify for that for Champions League. So he'll get a lot of opportunities to start. I mean, even just last year alone, Saliba had 52 appearances, right? So quality loan spell for him, and I'm guessing we're gonna hope that that goes well for Nuno Tavares as well. And you know, if it turns out that that they want to sell him, or Arsenal wants to sell him, or Marseille wants to buy him, this will be good for him to raise his profile. Or on the flip side of that, I mean, if he ends up still being part of the plans, it'll be great either way. So happy for him, happy for us. So it looks like we'll have Zinchenko and Tierney back there, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, and then it's not been confirmed yet, but it looks like Balogun is going to Rennes
Hmm.
in France. His opportunities probably would have been limited. We know that we've got Gabriel Jesus now and Ketia. We know Martinelli can play up there as well. So his opportunities would have been limited. Me personally, I would rather he stayed and was given some game time in the likes of a Carabao Cup and the early stages of a Europa League, possibly the FA Cup as well. But they made the decision to send him out on loan. It's also a good way of doing things as well, as we were talking about with Saliba. He went out, done really well, improved as a player, and came back a better player. So, there's the two ways of looking at that. But what's your thoughts on his loan?
Well, what you said about, kind of keeping him around for a while and hopefully get some cup games, that's how I kind of felt about Nuno Tavares. I was kind of hoping maybe he can stick around, see what happens around January. And if January came around and he wasn't getting the game time, set him out on loan. But it looks like, obviously we made that move. So we kind of went with reverse on this one, right? Like, I'm guessing, the coaching staff has decided, our 1-2 punch is going to be Gabriel Jesus, Eddie Nketiah. Martinelli could see himself like be up there. Um, Also, I even hear like Fabio Vieira can do that as well, like play as a second striker. Not too sure. We haven't seen him play at all yet, but there's still excitement around him, and so it looks like the team is happy where we are with that depth and that forward position, striker, whatever you want to call it. So I'll trust them. I mean, I think for the most part we've been making the right decisions across the board. So good luck to him. I hope he gets a good amount of experience, and he's also a little bit younger than Nuno Tavares, so probably still needs plenty of game time. And I think he's going to. I don't know much about the French league, but it's got to be a little, competitive enough that we felt like this was a good place for him. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, and
Mm.
the situation with Torreira. So we heard Gareth Halliswire put a bid in for him. Everything's been agreed with the clubs, but he's not that keen to go. It seems like Valencia have come in. They're looking to loan him. He's one that we know is very likely to be going, and it's going to be better for all parties if he does go. So hopefully that one gets wrapped up. There's also Bellerin still. There's Mari. We're not sure what we're going to do with the likes of Maitland Niles and Reese Nelson. So there's still a lot of work to do in terms of the players that we're looking to either loan out or sell.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the players coming in, it's gone a bit quiet. Still strongly linked with Tillemans. Also
Mm-hmm.
strong links with a player that I love to see play for us. Former Man City player, plays for Bayern Munich right now. We talked about him on our shows before. Leroy Sané.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen in terms of when we will get one or two more players in. I'm very confident we will. Arteta was asked about it after the Seville game. What's the situation? Are we still looking to sign players? And he said, yes, we are. So maybe just waiting to get the players out, make some space on the wage bill, get a bit of money in as well, possibly. And yeah, hopefully we will get 1 to 2 more players in.
Yeah. Just like some quick updates that I was looking at. Yeah, Torreira looks like he's the one that's stalling the deal. Like it's either Galatasaray or Valencia. So hopefully we get that done. Another player, I think Bellerin. What I read, I don't know exactly. I think it was Fabrizio Romagna said it looks like we're going to end up terminating his contract, and he'll end up over at Betis. So yeah, that's it. Sucks that we're not going to be able to make sales off of that. I mean, we're going to definitely face a lot of criticism for the way we've handled like some of these guys. That it won't come from me though. Like I feel like at this point, these are players like I guess in the later stages of their career, they're not necessarily performing. They're fringe guys, so it's going to be hard to sell, right? Like they're human beings, right? But they are like damaged goods. Like they're not like it's going to be very hard to convince somebody, hey, you should buy our players that we're not even using and that are almost out of contract. So I think it's better at this point to cut and run overall. Moving forward, I don't think that's going to be our strategy, but I think this is sort of the last remnants of a previous regime at Arsenal, right? Getting rid of these players that Arteta had nothing to do with as far as bringing on. Um, Although I do like, Hector Bellerin, I was kind of hoping we would end up staying in some form or fashion, but I think he's ready for like a break away from Arsenal and going back to Spain where he's from anyway. So um, yeah, there's Bellerin's out, Leno's out, Torreira needs to get out. Yeah, I don't know about Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I'm gonna probably predict with no knowledge whatsoever, but that's probably gonna be another one that we might just have to like terminate the contract and let him figure out his own thing. Like he doesn't seem to watching him on the field, he doesn't seem like he's putting in a very much effort. Although when you read interviews about him, he's saying like, "Oh, I want to play for Arsenal. I want to do this." It's not really showing it on the field, on the pitch. So it's probably time to just kind of cut ties with him as well. Reese Nelson, I don't know about that guy. I kind of want him to stay. I feel like he's in that where Eddie Nketiah was just last year. Like he needs a good run of games, and I'm kind of hoping he gets an opportunity. We'll see what happens. He might also end up going out on loan as well. Who knows? But yeah, then still got Pepe. Pepe is another interesting one too. It doesn't seem like anybody's interested in him as far as buying him. Probably his uh his salary is another issue for teams. So he seems to be content with just writing it out. So who knows? We might still use him as well. Um, but yeah, I think we might get a couple more of these players out of here, and then we should still be able to sign one. I think two players might be like reaching for the stars a little bit. I think one would be most likely, if anything, and it might be Tillemans. Who knows? But I'm pretty happy with who we have right now. So if we didn't sign anybody, I wouldn't call it the end of the world, you know. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
be interesting. Hopefully, we get at least one more, if not two in, and that will hopefully give us all the firepower we need to have a really successful season. Happy with how preseason's gone. Happy with how the transfer window's gone so far. We look ready. So
Yeah.
compared to last season, when you compare it to how we were looking last season, as you were saying earlier, we weren't ready. The signings weren't made. I mean, we had a few issues that were out of our control, the COVID situation with Lacazette and Aubameyang, but just the vibe, around the team at that point, we weren't looking as confident as we do now. You can see the players look confident, look really united, and all roads to this game now. We've been talking about it last few weeks. The summer break is now over. It's showtime.
Yeah.
Friday on. It's serious business. Let's talk about Crystal Palace a little bit now. So we know they're a dangerous team. The last time we played them, they beat us 3-0. It was a really comfortable win for them. They just annihilated us, basically. We had no answers for them. They were pressing us all over the place. And it was a comfortable 3-0 win for them. In terms of where we were as well, it was a really important game for us. We were fighting top four, and to lose in that way was really disappointing. So we've got to be aware of them and the dangers they pose. I'm sure Arteta is ready for what they're going to bring. We know Patrick Vieira has done a great job there. Got some really good players. I've not seen too much activity with them in the summer transfer window, but it's going to be a real hard game, no doubt about that. We know what the atmosphere is like at Selhurst Park as well. So, what's your thoughts on Crystal Palace, the dangers they bring us?
I think the last time at the end of, I guess when the schedule came out, and that was certainly well before preseason started. And I do remember myself saying, like, yeah, Crystal Palace scares me. I would be happy with a draw. I'm gonna go. We'll go into it expecting a loss. Um, I think I'm gonna maybe amend my feelings about the game a little bit and say like I'm expecting a win, but I'd be happy with a draw. I think I think yes, Crystal Palace is dangerous. Selhurst Park is a difficult place for anybody to go and play. Um, but I have a good feeling about this team. Just watching, preseason. The last time we played, yep, they smashed us 3-0. But I think I'm trying to pull it up, the starting lineup right now. But the starting lineup we had Cedric Suarez in the back, we had Nuno Tavares, we had Alexander Lacazette up top, um, and Emil Smith Rowe, out wide. So I can already anticipate us. I mean, we're already going to have a stronger lineup compared to that time. So it's going to be way different. It's going to be the beginning of the season. We're going to be much fresher. Uh, and I think this team is going to go into that matchup, looking for a little bit of revenge. If you kind of look at our season from as a whole, you can say, oh, Spurs and then Newcastle is when we lost top four, but I think it really started against Crystal Palace. Like, because again, we lost three. Sure, we came back and bounced back and won three. But I think that's sort of the beginning of the end. That's where we started seeing a bunch of injuries. And then we lost a lot of confidence going into games because of that match. So um, I'm going to stick with that theme, complete 180. I feel like we are going to have the upper hand. Um, you can see us how we start, especially in the preseason, how our aim is to start fast and to start quickly. And I think that's going to be our approach going into this game. Pedal to the metal right away. We got our striker. We got the guy we want scoring goals. We have everybody rearing to go. So I'm pretty confident. I hope I'm not proven wrong, and I'm not like really sad next week. Like, oh my god, like where's all this confidence coming from? But if we're up this optimistic going through the summer, seeing what we've seen, um, I think we have the upper hand going into this match, regardless of how difficult it is to play. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but I feel like we're going to overcome the difficult atmosphere and win pretty handedly. I'll
Okay.
say.
Okay, so looking at the starting lineup now, so last two games in pre-season, you would say that is probably the team that is going to line up tomorrow. The
Yep.
question I have, sorry, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow.
Yeah, the day after.
Depends when you're watching this video, but yeah, it's Wednesday now. It's going to come out tomorrow, so yeah, it will be tomorrow by the time people watch it. But yeah, so in terms of the starting lineup, I'm going to ask you a question that's probably not going to affect the lineup for against Crystal Palace because it seems that Tomiyasu is going to miss that one. They're saying reports that he's back in training, but I don't see him playing. He's not had a pre-season really, has he? So
Right.
I don't see him coming straight back into the team. But at a later date, you would say he is our first choice right back. He done great for us there last year. So he would be the one that would start at right back. And then in the centre back situation, then it would mean we've got Gabriel and Ben White, who had a really solid partnership last season, done really well. It's the best we've defended for a long time. I was really impressed with how well they did together and how much we'd improved there. But we know William Saliba's come back from his loan. He's looking really good, done so well in pre-season as well. So what would be your preferred starting centre-back pairing?
Ooh, yeah. I want to see Gabriel and Saliba back there. I want to see Saliba. Like I like what I've seen in preseason, but I want us to throw him into the fire and see how he responds. Um, a lot of a lot of what people are saying about him is, his composure. The way he plays. He's just so calm on the ball. Almost reminds me of like a guy like Tomiyasu, like somebody who's just so sure of himself out there playing his position and just loves playing football. Um, let's see what happens, right? Let's put him in Selhurst Park and let him go. So yeah, Gabriel and Saliba. I want to see that pairing right off the bat.
Okay, so rest of the lineup, as I was saying to you, from what we're seeing in preseason, the last two games, the lineup he's gone in with, for this one, it probably will be Ben White at right back, and Saliba, Gabriel centre backs, left back Zinchenko, goalkeeper Ramsdale. Then midfield, he's gone with Partey, Xhaka, and Odegaard, and then the three up top. You see our Fab Three now: Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka. Is that the lineup you would want to see us starting with?
100%. Yeah, I think that was like our starting lineup 2 or 3 games running now. So I say we just stick with it. That seems to be the group that is starting to gel together. Are those Zinchenko's kind of like that last minute one? But he's come in and he did the first half against Chelsea and looked great. And then he played, looks like here, 79 minutes in this past game. So he's ready to go. Uh, he knows exactly what Arteta wants from him. So I don't see a problem sticking him there and letting Tierney continue to build on his fitness and get stronger from the coming back from that injury. Um, yeah, let's do it. I want to see that exact lineup you said. I would not want to deviate at all from it. And I think Ben White, I'm a little bit worried. Hopefully he's not going against Zaha. Um, but I'm sure we can come up. I'm sure Arteta's going to come up with some kind of strategy to just make sure he's not always by himself one on one with that guy, because that guy's also that's the one guy that worries me. Um, but at the same time, he's not always on his A game as well. As good as Zaha is, he's a flawed player himself. So I think Ben White can hold his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's hope Zaha has a bad day. He's a very
Yeah.
good player. He does tend to play well against us as well. But yeah, let's hope he has a bad day. And
Uh,
you know what? I'm confident the way we're playing, just saying, no matter what they bring, I think we'll have enough to deal with them and to this time, unlike last time, be a threat ourselves going forward, get
uh,
some goals. So yeah, what's your correct score prediction?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say 3-1, but it's gonna be a lot closer than what that score line says, right? I think like it's a 1-1 draw late into the game, 70th minute, something like that. And I feel like we bang in 2 goals to close the game. Um, like in the 75th minute or something like that, and then 85th minute, like late, 2 late goals to kind of just pull away. But I think for a while, again, Crystal Palace is tough. It's gonna be the beginning of the season. It's the only match in town, right? Like nobody else is playing tomorrow or on Friday, so the hype is going to be there on both sides. Um, I think it's going to be hotly contested early on. I don't know who scores first, but I think we'll be close early on, and I think we pull away. So yeah, we'll go with 3-1. What do you think?
Okay, I think like you, I it's going to be close. I actually went for 3-1 as well on the video I did before this one. I don't see it being one-sided as much as I like it to be a nice, comfortable 3-4 nil win. I don't see it being like that.
Uh,
But yeah, as you're saying, it be tight. It might be like we go in 1-1 at half time and then we get a couple of second half goals, or like we might get 2-0 up, they pull one back. So it's still a tight game and we get the third one late on to secure the win. But yeah, it's going to be a close game. Confident though. This is the thing. We do look ready. Pressure's on though, as you said. First game of the season, all eyes will be on us. Friday night game, as I like to say, it's showtime now. There's no more preseason friendlies, and result really matters. So, yeah, I hope our boys will deal with that. I know they're getting more experience now. We got to remember a lot of them are young, but they're getting more experience now, and I just see us putting out a statement and getting that win and starting the season really well. So, what I wanted to
yeah.
ask you as well in terms of our first 5 games. So, you would say on paper compared to what we had last season, a lot easier. Second game we had last season was Chelsea at home. Third game was Man City away. This time, second game is Leicester at home. Third game is Bournemouth away. Then fourth and fifth game is both at home, Fulham and Aston Villa. So out of them 5 games, how many points do you think we can get?
I want to be bold and say we can get 15. But I see a game like maybe like Leicester being a draw and then maybe even Villa. So I wouldn't be mad with what is that? One's 3, 6, 9, 10, like 11 points. If we can get 11 points, I wouldn't be completely disappointed. Uh, I think we can get 15, but Villa. I mean, though that Fulham game in Villa, we're gonna play former goalkeepers, right, with Leno and then
Mhm.
Martinez. So yeah, but Leicester, we might snatch their player from them by that time. So yeah, we'll see. But I want 15, but if we get 11, I think that's a successful run. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's minimum 11. Okay, could like you'd say the trickiest one is Palace away, the first one. I'd say out of
Mhm.
everyone's. I know Leicester, decent team, but last season they weren't as strong. I haven't seen much in the transfer market from them. So I'm not too worried about them. We look
They
at
don't
the
have Schmeichel anymore. Sorry to interrupt you, but they don't have Schmeichel.
Yeah, so that's a big loss for them. Bournemouth promoted team, confident we can go there and get the points. I mean, the 2 home games, Fulham, again, promoted team, should be able to take care of them. Aston Villa as well. It's at our place. So I'm very confident we can get 15 points as well. Bare
Yeah,
minimum should be like 11, 12. Uh, that's the bare minimum. But you'll take that, at the start of the
yeah,
season, say that that's, as you're saying, that's a decent outcome out of the first 5 games. But with this games that we've got, ideally, let's get 15 points, get off to a really good start because we know we've got a difficult month coming up in October. That
yeah,
month there is a nightmare of a month where we're playing some of the big teams. We've got the likes of Man City, Liverpool, got a North London derby in that month as well. So if we can get off to a really good start, take that confidence into that more difficult month in October, it'll be amazing. And yeah, just excited. Let's just, as we said last season as well, but it's got about taking it a game at a time. Can't think too far ahead. Can't underestimate anyone. Remember that stretch we went through where we're like 3 games that you thought we should be winning on paper.
yeah.
And it started with that loss against Crystal Palace. You remember, lost to them, lost to Southampton. Oh, it was a nightmare.
Brighton.
Yeah, then Brighton. It was just a nightmare, them 3 games. So can't underestimate any team. We know what the Premier League's like. There's no real easy game. Every team's going to come and fight hard. So,
Hmm.
yeah, let's just take it game by game. Optimistic, happy, season's
100%.
yeah, so let's talk a little bit now about some of the other fixtures this weekend, as we normally
Yep.
do. So, a few predictions for some of the big games on this weekend. So, let's talk about Man City against West Ham. That's going to be a good match to watch. West Ham are at home. We know they're a good team. They had a good season last season. They given Man City difficult games in the past as well. What's your thoughts on that one?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a fun one to watch. Man City with Erling Haaland. The Arsenal reject. We thought we were too good for him, and he's not good enough for us. But no, yeah, he's gonna be. I'm excited to see him in the Premier League and what he does. West Ham at home, always a difficult place to play. And we saw them competing for top four for a while until they fizzled out. So they're always a team that's going to be difficult, especially early in the season. So I think City ends up winning comfortably in that one. Um, but yeah, there's also a lot of little bit of a lot of turnover in Man City too. So yeah, maybe I'll take that back. Who knows if they'll win that easily because Alon's in there and they're still trying to figure that out. But they did, lose uh, Gabriel Jesus and uh, Zinchenko to us, and so they're trying to fill in some positions as well. So we're going to see if they're really that stacked and letting some of those guys go and seeing how their backups look and so we'll see. So we'll see. I think Jack Grealish might get a chance to now regularly start moving forward. So it's time for him to justify how much money they spent on him. That'll be a fun match to watch. I'm looking forward to that on Sunday.
Okay, critical prediction.
Uh, I think they'll win like 2-1. It'll be close. I won't say it's easy.
Okay, I think they'll win that as well. I think it'll be 3-1. I think
Mhm.
I have a little bit too much for West Ham. Okay, let's now talk about the match between Everton and Chelsea. We know that Chelsea been going through a bit of a difficult time. There's been a lot of changes there. They've lost a great defender in Rudiger, but they brought in Koulibaly, who's another
Mhm.
really good defender. So you'd say he can fill that void. But in general, I think Chelsea have been a bit overlooked. A lot of talk about them not struggling possibly this season. I think they're going to be right up there in the battle for the top four. But yeah, what's your thoughts on their match against Everton?
Yeah, I am leaning towards thinking that they're like that we can finish up above them in the top four. But yeah, they're still Chelsea, and they're still got a lot of money and got a lot of good players. They also brought in Raheem Sterling, which I think if I had to compare Gabriel Jesus and Sterling, uh, I'm gonna go with Jesus, even when they were with City. So, I think we got the edge in that position right there. And then Everton, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one, man. They lost Richarlison, uh, and they nearly escaped relegation. I don't think they're out of the woods just yet. So, but also at the same time, these are professionals, so you're going to see, and that's the team that has Frank Lampard as coach, right?
Yeah.
Right. So they've had sort of a topsy turvy uh, preseason. They notably lost like 4-0, I think, to a MLS team, the Minnesota United, which it's a friendly, yeah, take it for what you will, but you don't want to lose 4-0 ever, right? Like Chelsea also lost 4-0 to us, right? And again, you can say it's preseason, but it sets you back, I think, as a team. So Everton's really hasn't hasn't had a great preseason, and I think they're going to be fighting again for relegation. But it's at home, first game of the season. Who knows what could happen? Um, I think it'll be close, but I'll predict a Chelsea 1-0 win. But it'll be a lot close, be a little bit too close for comfort for them.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've still got a really good manager here as well. We've got to remember that he's a really good manager. They're just European champions season
Yeah,
before last. So good team still. And I think they'll edge that one 2-1. Okay, let's talk now about Man United. Again, a team that going through a few changes, new manager. We don't know exactly what's going on with the situation with Cristiano Ronaldo. We had some new players come in, players go out. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do this season. I think they're going to struggle still. There's still a lot of uncertainty there. It don't seem like a united team. In terms of unity, that's really important. We saw it last season with them as well. At stages, we saw some of the things that were coming out in the media, the players, the whole situation around the manager as well. So I don't know how settled the team they are. I see them struggling. They're starting off against Brighton, who we know are a decent team. We've experienced it ourselves in
yeah,
recent times. Brighton are a good team and they cannot be taken lightly. I expect Brighton to give them a really hard time. What's your thoughts on that one?
yeah. Shit. If I were a United fan, I would be so annoyed with Ronaldo just from the whole mess that he was doing. Basically, skipped out on training for the whole summer, tried to leave, then said he never tried to leave and played half a match and then left before the game was over. That's to me. I mean, some people will excuse it and be like, "Well, it's preseason, whatever." But like no, you expect. I mean, you even saw it with our guys, like a guy like Gabriel, for example, didn't start or didn't play for the second half of like the game against Chelsea, but he was on the sideline still coaching. You saw it with our behind closed doors um, uh, scrimmage against Brentford. A bunch of our players hanging out, watching, right, supporting, being around. That's what a team is, right? So if that alone lets me know right away that it's not a united front, right, for lack of a better term, over there in Manchester United. But you never know what could happen. Ronaldo likes to just show up and play like he could, like he still had a ton of goals last year. Basically carried that team. I think without him, they wouldn't have been close to sixth place. So who knows what's going to happen? I'm glad we don't have that nonsense going on with our roster. Like I just want to see, good football and leave all the other mess outside. But yeah, it doesn't seem like a real good place over there at Old Trafford. But yeah, Brighton is one of those teams that, yeah, sure, they're going to be 10th through 13th in the table consistently, but they're not going to be an easy win. So who knows what'll happen? If I had to just pick, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna go with the draw. I think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a not so happy start to the new era over there at United. 2-2. I think Ronaldo gets 2 goals though, which is gonna again so frustrating to be a United fan because Ronaldo is just the epitome of a drama queen, but he's gonna score goals for you and keep you in games. So you gotta take it for what it's worth. So I think it'll be a 2-2 draw though, but still not a performance that the fans are going to be happy about.
Okay, I think we're gonna see an upset in that one. I wouldn't really.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't think you can really consider it even a big upset, like how you would back in the day. Man United losing at home to Brighton would be considered a big upset. But I think in the circumstances now and the way things are there, and as we've been saying, Brighton are a decent team. I can see them getting a win there. So I'm going for Brighton 2-1. And now, final prediction. Let's talk about the team from up the road, who unfortunately we finished below last season.
Yeah,
They managed to just get the top four ahead of us. So disappointing. Let's hope that doesn't happen this season. Let's hope we can finish above them. It's been a long while since we finished above them. We've got to say they've done well in the transfer market. You look at the signings they've brought in, they've strengthened. They already had a good team as we saw last season. So they're going to be a dangerous team this season, no doubt about it. As much as it pains us to say this, but they are going to be up there challenging. First
yeah,
game, Southampton, who again are a dangerous team. We've seen in recent times they've got good results against big teams. We've seen them beat the likes of Man City. We beat us last year. So we know there's a good team there, good manager. I'm hoping they can. I don't see them pulling off upset and getting the win, but I can see them stashing a draw maybe there. So, yeah, what's your thoughts on that one?
yeah. The last time Tottenham and Southampton played, Southampton won 3-2 back in February. Tottenham owns like the overall head to head. So yeah, we'll have to. I agree with you. I think Tottenham is going to be dangerous this year, as much as it sucks to say, and I think they're gonna not, end up having a successful season. I don't think they're gonna win the title. I think they're gonna falter as the season goes on, but I think they're gonna start strong, and they'll be a big. They're gonna be making noise at the top of the table early on. So I think with all that being said, I think it'll be a relatively comfortable win for them. I think they end up winning something like 2-0. Just because I think much like much like we are feeling ourselves early on, I think there's a lot of good feelings going on over there at Tottenham, which pains me to say, and I hope I'm wrong. But I think they'll win. I think they'll win.
Okay, I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Okay. Yeah.
Southampton. That'd be
Yeah.
nice if they can take some points from them in the first game of the season. So just before we go, one thing to finish with. I didn't get a chance to do this with you last week. We're doing the predictions for next season. Forgot to ask you for your top goal scorer prediction.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Um, Part of me wants to say like Gabriel Jesus, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think what's going to happen with him coming on board is a lot of other people on our team, like Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, even their goals are going to get elevated along with it. So it's going to be like a committee type thing. So I don't think we'll even have like somebody in the top five with goals. Um, if I had to pick, I think Mo Salah has one last run of just incredible football and knocks in like 20, 22 goals. I think he's reaching that age where we might start seeing a dip in production, but I think he has one more run at the boot. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think he'll definitely be up there. He's consistently been up there in recent years. And Liverpool are going to score a lot of goals, no doubt about that. You know, they're going to be right at the top of the league. So I can see him getting a lot of goals. I can see Jesus getting a lot of goals. I'm predicting Jesus can get over 20 goals next season, I think. I really
Be
see.
nice. I mean,
Yeah,
I'd be happy to be wrong.
I really see. I see what you're saying about him helping others to score more, but him himself, I think he's now going to get opportunities to be the main man, playing down the middle. Um, from what we've seen, I know you can't read into preseason, but not just what we've seen in preseason, but what we've seen from him at Man City. You People will sometimes criticize him, but he does miss chances. But he's a goal scorer. He's even scored 4 goals in one game for him, hasn't he? Last season.
Hmm.
So, he's capable of getting a lot of goals when he's on fire. I can see him in some games getting 2, 3 goals without any problems. I see that maybe a couple of times next season he could even get a hat trick. So I see him getting a lot of goals, and I'd say I'm hoping at least 20 plus for him. So I think he'll be up there in the race for the Golden Boot. But for me, I'm giving it to Haaland. I'm a big fan of this guy. I know
Me
he
too.
had a poor game against Liverpool, but Liverpool fans are on him. I was just doing a show with a Liverpool fan now, and he was telling me what happened to Haaland. But we all know he is a good player, really good finisher. His record,
100%.
yeah, his record shows that City are going to provide him a lot of chances, and I see him banging in a lot of goals. So for me, it's going to be Haaland, top scorer next season. But yeah, bro, really excited, man. Looking forward to seeing you next week to discuss our win against
Yeah.
Palace and discuss other fixtures and all the latest news. Hopefully, we might have even signed another player.
Hmm.
Wait and see. But yeah, bro, thanks for your time.
Always, man. And like, yeah, as you said, I'll echo that. Like, I'm looking forward to now we'll be talking about football instead of like the idea of football. Um, it's exciting, right? Back with another season. World Cup is coming up, so we're going to see a lot of games fast and furious early on. And so teams are going to have to not only plan for losing their players for World Cup and plan for that break, and then also maybe, potentially have to think past, post World Cup, right? So it's going to just be very interesting to just see how teams deal with again another different season, right? COVID is really still kind of affecting how the football world is putting out competition. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to our team. I think we have a great chance to make some noise along with all the other teams that are going to be competing for first place. I think we're going to be up there. Maybe not necessarily fighting for first place, but uh, our name is going to be up there. Making some noise, upsets, things like that. So yeah, I'm ready to go, man. All the talk will be on to game action. So let's go. Come on, you Gunners.
Yeah, bro. Come on, you Gunners. Let's start the season with a bang. Let's beat Crystal Palace on Friday
Hell
night.
yeah.
So that's all from us, everyone. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.